Hey everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Brews with Brian, a bonus episode. It's called Just a Sip, where I sit with my buddies and we talk about craft beer or beer in general. And today is actually the day before my wedding. I've got my two buddies here. One of them's my cousin, one of them's my buddy. Anthony, how are you doing?
I'm doing pretty good. How about yourself?
Fantastic. Jared?
I'm doing wonderful.
Jared, you've been on the show a lot already. Anthony, you just come down from my wedding and brought some tasty beer with us that we're drinking now, and I'm very appreciative of that. And we're actually drinking Gumball Head currently from Three Floyds out of Indiana, I'm pretty sure.
It's actually a suburb out of Chicago.
Is it?
Yeah.
Okay. And Gumball Head's a wheat, just a wheat ale, and this thing is fantastic.
It is.
I mean,
it's really citrusy.
Yeah, the citrus in it and everything is just fantastic. So excuse me while I take a sip.
Got a nice little sweetness to it.
And this thing cold is fantastic.
Yeah, the more chilled you get it, the more you're actually going to enjoy it.
What do you think, Jared?
Oh yeah, I love the illustration on the front of it. A cat smoking a cigarette.
Yeah, you want to move up closer to the mic?
Oh my bad. I'm so sorry. Got relaxed. Good beer. Good time, good friends.
Yeah.
But the illustration on the front is, very good. Cat smoking a cigarette with a FFF helmet.
Right,
helmet.
because it's Three Floyds Brewery.
Yep.
And I'm assuming that's what the three F's are for. It's got great packaging. I don't know much about Three Floyds. I just know I can't get it in Alabama, which is sad because they make Zombie Dust, which is regarded as one of the best beers in the world.
And I'm trying to get you on that.
Right.
Once I get you some of that, I'll get it down here to you.
Again, Anthony's trying to get it for us, and we'll review it as soon as I get it. And that's just one of the beers we're trying tonight. But Anthony, are you into craft beer? Is there anything that that you like?
I actually do enjoy, craft beers and been probably about into it for 4 years. So, I just now, I guess, getting into actually exploring all my options. And back in my hometown in Robinson, they actually do have a festive ale that they've been doing for the past 2 years. They're going to try to do it annually, and they'll bring in a bunch of different breweries and wineries and just have a little
beer fest. Yeah, beer fest. I've been to the one in Huntsville here in Alabama for the past 2 years, and it's just outstanding. I tried 30 different beers in one time. And again, 2-ounce pours. You can drink responsibly. I think we all would agree on that.
Oh, yeah.
So, because again, we're all old enough to be drinking. So,
but when you get a $20 cover charge and they pour your alcohol.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, I've been into craft beer probably about just that long, 3 or 4 years. And, me and Jared sort of started on this journey together, and we've talked about it before with Monkey Knot. Which is fantastic.
Yes, just a lovely way.
I still don't think I have tried that.
You haven't tried Monkey Knot?
I may have not.
Well, Monkey Knot's just an IPA from straight to ale from Huntsville, Alabama, and it is just a fantastic IPA. Now, it's strong as far as its hoppiness, so it's going to be real bitter, but it's just unbelievable. I think Jared would agree.
Oh, yeah, it is. It is very good. Once you drink one, you're going to drink another.
Yeah, it's like Pringles. Once you pop, you just can't stop. So,
I like that. I like it.
But Anthony, like I was saying, me and Jared, started on this craft beer journey. I like to think of it as together. And on previous episodes, or previous bonus episodes, we've talked about going to the craft beer trail, which is where you go to different breweries and get a card stamped, and you get a bottle opener at the end. And in Huntsville. And we've tried some fantastic beer. Like, I've tried a tiramisu stout from Green Bus, I think.
Yeah, it was from Green Bus.
And it tasted like the cake does, which is outstanding because, cake in beer form, I can't think of a better thing.
No, yeah, you're absolutely
right. Throwing bacon.
I've never had a bacon beer.
I'm pretty sure somebody out there is probably going to make one.
All right. Audience, get on that. If you find a bacon beer, not baking beer, email me at brewswithbrian@gmail.com.
Is that like cooking wine, I guess? Baking beer?
Or if you can find if you can find a baking beer, I'll take a cupcake beer or whatever. It doesn't matter to me.
Or a turkey leg,
Turkey leg beer. That'd be interesting.
Flogging the meat of beer.
Yeah. But Anything, guys?
I actually did bring with me a little bit of a jalapeno wine to try out a little bit later, and
tell us about that.
Well, I ended up finding this at the actual beer fest there in Robinson, and a guy's like, "Hey, I have some jalapeno wine over here if you're interested, and I also make Bloody Mary mixes out of it." And I was kind of skeptical, so went up there and just got a glass of regular jalapeno wine, tried it, and it was kind of dry and had spice to it. And it's like, well, try the Bloody Mary mix, and it was absolutely amazing.
I bet.
I mean, he had, I think it was like tomato juice, Worcestershire, and the wine in there. So, I mean, it was very basic.
Wow.
But the flavor, it was just so robust. And it was actually pretty once in a lifetime. Who makes jalapeno wine?
Right.
You know?
I mean, again, that's something I've not heard of. But like I was discussing with y'all off mic that, I've had a bunch of beers that has had habaneros in it, right? Or some kind of chili pepper or something.
Which
I like the point of this story. I had to butt in, but the point of your story is he was real skeptical about it, but he tried it, and now he loves it.
Right, which is what everybody should do. I mean, like in the craft beer world, anyway. If you see a beer you've never seen before, it ain't going to hurt you to spend $10 and try it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, you don't have to go back to it if you don't like it. You can explore your options with something else.
Exactly, because most craft beer shops, liquor stores, whatever, well, not most of them, but some of them have like a build your own 6-pack.
Right.
You can just mix and match, and you can just try something different, and you might like it. Maybe you don't like Oktoberfest. Maybe you like brown ales. But you can find something that you like that'll get you off of that big box corporate machine beer.
And it always tastes the same over and over.
Yeah, that's why they hire the best brewers in the world, because they got to make the same beer taste the exact same way every single time.
Yeah, which, I mean, another thing with craft brews is maybe you're planning on, your outcome coming out one way. You might make a mistake that makes it even better.
Right, because most of these beers, like, if they only make them year to year, they taste different.
Right.
Because that Frankenhammer that Jared's got in the cellar right now, aging, I'm assuming.
Oh, yeah.
In 2017, tastes different than it does this year in 2019.
And a lot of the people that do their own home brews, they get their, seasonal crops.
Right.
They don't actually get to stock up, kind of like, Sam Adams.
Yeah,
per se.
of course, yeah. Yeah. I mean, these smaller breweries are buying this stuff in surplus.
Farmers markets,
anywhere. And, it could change from year to year.
Right. Which is actually probably one of the cooler things.
Right.
I got to admit, boys, we have come a long way from our days
in the shack.
In the shack.
Yeah. Again, the audience don't know what the shack is, but we'll just leave it at that.
But we have come a long way, and we've drunk about pretty good bunch of some stuff we shouldn't have drank.
We've drunk our share of the big box corporate machine beer.
Yeah, and I mean, we ain't come too far. I mean, we ain't even got a cork opener. We've had to use a screw over here, and some pliers. But
we are in Alabama.
Yeah, that is true. We are in Alabama.
For all
anything's a tool if you make it hard.
Yeah.
Make it work.
I mean,
so all of our international listeners, just to make it clear, if you can't tell from our accents, we're from North Alabama.
Yeah.
Well, Anthony's in Illinois, but
yeah,
he lived here for years. So
that's how he looked over at me.
I'm adopted.
Like, yeah.
He looked at me and he's like, "How are we gonna get this cork out?" And I said, "Dude, do you know who you're talking to? You're talking to the redneck MacGyver."
That's right.
So the first thing I did was go over to my toolbox, grab my screwdriver, pop that thing right off.
Yeah, that's how we do it. But you brought some more beer, and we're going to get to it in a minute. We got to finish what we're drinking now.
I'm about to finish it.
It's not too far from being empty.
Let's say we're going to take a drink.
You kind of do want to do like every time you take a sip.
Yeah, because this gumball head is so refreshing.
It's fresh.
Like I said,
it kind of gives me that taste of like Lime Patrol, but a little bit stronger.
Yeah. Again, we're going to bring up Lime Patrol.
Well, I mean, the taste is, they're completely different, but that's what it's making me think of.
Right, because, again, if you've listened to our other bonus shows, you know that Lawn Patrol is a beer made from Singing River in Florence, Alabama, which is our closest brewery that we go to all the time. It's a beer that is made to drink in the summertime when you're cutting your grass because it's such a low ABV. and that's Jared's favorite beer. Right?
Don't do it, Brian.
I'm not going to do it. I told you off mic. I'm not going to mention what we've mentioned every single time.
I thought I had him right there.
Yep. So I'm not going to do it. I promise. What'd you crack open now, Jared?
Oh, it is what is it? Space Station Middle Finger.
Yeah, Space Station Middle Finger American Pale Ale from again Three Floyds Brewery. It's one of the beers Anthony brought down for us. On the
illustration's wonderful.
Yeah, the illustration is fantastic. It looks like a space station made out of bones, maybe, or wrapped up tinfoil. But anyway,
hot dog wrappers.
Yeah, hot dog wrappers, and it's flipping the middle finger.
Oh yeah,
and it's called the New Horizons in Flavor. There's a tagline, I'm sure, for it.
A little hoppy.
Well, here, open mine up. Since I'm running this thing,
I do like the bottle cap on that, though.
Yeah, the bottle cap is compared to the other one. They put some work into the bottle cap.
It seems like to me, like I don't know anybody from Three Floyds or anything about them hardly, but there may have been some drugs involved when they made these logos.
There possibly could be.
I don't know. They're just keeping it real,
It could be like a Rorschach, though. Like you just drink so much, and it's like, hey, what does this look like to you?
He got a little head on it.
Yeah. As I was pouring the beer, it sort of overflowed in my glass, and that was the silence you heard. That you're probably not going to hear because I'm going to edit that out. As the bottle cap hits the floor.
Yeah. I can say this beer poured about the same as the other one. I mean, that's a good thing when I poured it.
Typical pour. Yeah.
Same coloration.
Yeah, I mean it's copper. It's pretty much transparent. I can see my fingers through the glass.
Can you say the middle finger though?
Yeah. Oh yeah. It's a good thing I'm drinking Space Station Middle Finger. But yeah, I'm gonna take a sip of this thing.
This one's not bad at all. I'm not complaining about neither one of these. These are wonderful beers.
These are fantastic. I've had a lot of American Pale Ales. Sierra Nevada has the best pale ale on the market, and this thing is up there. I mean, it's pretty good. It's got the floral notes to me.
Yeah.
Sort of grassy, if that makes sense to anybody. What are you reading on the bottle?
I've got to read this. I'm sorry. I just have to do it. From the dawn of time, humans have looked to the sky for answers. Space Station Middle Finger replies to all from its internal orbit. Behold and enjoy the bright golden American Pale Ale.
Which is the description on the bottle. Again,
very imaginative.
Yeah, very imaginative. Maybe backing up my drug claim.
Just a little, but still, they did a wonderful job on it. I mean, both of these beers.
Again, I think me and Jared said this in the first bonus episode. Drugs are bad. Okay. I actually said that on the first one.
But I mean, as artful as the actual bottles are, you can see the translation
right
too.
Because like I knew about Three Floyds just from my craft beer journey and trying to learn as much as I can about it, and some of the best beers in the world. But like if I had never heard of them before and I saw the artwork on these bottles, I'm at least stopping and looking and seeing what it's about.
Yeah.
Another good thing about this one is it wasn't bottled too long ago. It was bottled 10/9/19.
So it's fresh.
Yes, it's very fresh.
And I'm sure Gumball Head probably was too.
Yeah.
Want to take another sip? Everybody want to take a sip?
I was going to say, kind of like...
I'm actually willing to, just down this because it's that good.
If you would have tried to actually, push craft beer in some of the places 10 years ago, they wouldn't have been as big. I mean, now...
It would have been harder. Sam Adams would have been fine. Again, 10 years ago, Sam Adams was more craft beer than they are now. Even though they just bought Dogfish Head Brewery, which makes some fantastic beer, like their 125-mile-an-hour IPA is fantastic. But yeah, you're right. I mean, a decade ago, I didn't know anything about craft beer.
Right.
I'd never heard of it. The only beer I thought existed was your typical Miller, Coors, Budweiser, Michelob, stuff like that. Stuff we were drinking.
Keystone,
yeah, if you're cheap. Yeah, the old Dirty 30.
Yep.
Like I said, I don't know if we were drinking it 10 years ago, or at least me, but even like Smirnoffs or something like that, we had our run with that.
Yeah.
Oh, that Mad Dog 2020.
Yeah. That's
Jack was the main thing we was on.
Yeah,
The hard
yeah,
stuff.
we were on some liquor at one time, that's for sure. But now it's mostly beer.
Yeah, getting a little bit older.
Yeah, getting a little bit older. It's harder to handle the hard stuff.
Yeah.
Especially once you hit 30.
Your boss kind of frowns upon it,
Yeah. Especially if you bring it to work.
We've
seen that incident happen a time or two. I mean,
it happens.
Yep. Near death experiences, screaming in the ER.
Yeah. We're not going to tell the story about Anthony. We're not going to go there. I don't think everybody needs to know about it.
We made a DVD of it. That's good enough.
Yeah. You can buy it on brewswithbrian.com. No, there's not a brewswithbrian.com, so don't search it.
If it is, it's all false.
Yeah.
We'll disclaim everything.
Yeah. The only way to find
Brews
out.
with Brian does not endorse this
Yeah,
message.
exactly. The only way to find out information about Brews with Brian would be on the Facebook page, which is at Brews with Brian, Twitter, Brews with Brian, or I think it's Brews W. Brian, actually. And then Instagram, Brews with Brian. That's the only way to find out information about the podcast. I post every Monday when the show drops pictures of the beer that I'm reviewing that week. And usually post something when the bonus episodes drop, like we're recording now.
Oh, yeah.
And once again, thank you for inviting me to your podcast.
Hey,
it's actually
like
a lot of fun.
When I started this podcast, I thought about you because I wanted to get you on it.
Yeah.
I didn't care if I had to go sit in McDonald's parking lot and use their Wi-Fi to Skype you to record it because, I live in Alabama where we don't have internet. We just have banjos and shit.
Banjos and canoes.
Banjos and canoes, that's it.
Yeehaw. We got more stuff than that.
Yeah, we do. Like, the better parts of Alabama have good internet.
Like Huntsville.
Yeah.
Like right down the road.
Yeah, like right down the road from my house. But, man, this is a fantastic beer. I can't get over this.
It'll be one I will have again.
No.
It's going to be hard for you to have it again because we live in Alabama, but...
Yeah, I had to come up and see me.
Yeah.
There we go. Road trip.
Road trip. Hey, I'm good with that.
Hell, if you're going to go that far, we might as well just go straight to Three Floyds.
Yeah.
I mean, hell, it's only like the other 3-4 hour ride.
Hey, I'm fine with it. I wonder if we can sleep.
I mean, if you're on drive 8, you might as well drive the other 4.
I mean, can we sleep at the brewery?
I do believe I've got friends up toward Chicago that we might be able to stay at as well.
Well, hey, you want to go to Chicago?
The Bears.
Yeah, there you go.
I had to throw it in there. Chicago come into play.
Good
It is a
Mike
nice beer.
But yeah, I just can't get over it, man. This is probably becoming my favorite pale ale.
Possibly.
Like just from this one bottle, and I've drunk a crap ton of Sierra Nevada.
You're gonna owe the boys at Three Floyd a letter.
Yeah. I'm sorry I claimed that your logo art was inspired by drugs.
If it is, kudos.
Yeah.
Keep on doing a good job.
Yeah. Please retweet this and like it on Instagram.
Just remember, I said I loved y'all's logos.
Yeah. Jerad loved it. I love it too. It's hard to believe that some of this stuff isn't inspired by some kind of drugs, legal or illegal, whatever. But
we're not here to judge.
Yeah, we're not here to judge. Take all you want. I don't care. Just do it responsibly, I guess.
Yeah, with anything, do it responsibly. Even walking down the street.
Yeah.
Do it just do it responsibly.
Exactly. You don't want to walk in front of a car or anything.
Right.
But like I said at the beginning, we're here because Anthony could not be here for my bachelor party a few weeks ago, but he is here tonight because he's a groomsman in my wedding tomorrow. And you might be asking, are you drinking beer before your wedding? Yes, I am. But it's okay.
Man don't.
Yeah, but it's okay.
It's within reason.
And to clarify, I'm very excited about my wedding. I love my fiance now. I'm going to love my wife till the day I die. and she supports this podcast, and I'm very thankful of that. Otherwise, I wouldn't be doing it. But
brings a lot of memories back from high school too.
yeah, it does. I mean, me and her dated throughout high school, and probably should have got married, shortly thereafter. But we took a different path, and we're back together. So we're happy in the end. But that's why Anthony's down. He brought me some beer, which is just fantastic. I hope every time he comes down, he brings me beer.
I'll try to.
So I'll PayPal you some money.
There
Whatever,
we go. Yeah.
whatever you need.
We'll just meet up halfway in Nashville and just exchange beers from here to there.
I'm fine with that because Nashville has some fantastic breweries.
Well, I'm pretty sure there's some beers around here that I can't get up there.
I'm pretty sure you couldn't get anything from Straight to Ale.
Yeah, Straight to Ale is going to be hard to get up.
Or any Huntsville brewery, probably.
Now, they do have like the two-headed ale up there.
Two Hearted Ale?
Two Hearted Ale.
Yeah, that's from Bales. That's out of Michigan.
Okay.
Two Hearted is fantastic.
Like I said, just
yeah,
trying to get up with the
IPA.
IPAs.
Yeah. You're just trying to get it, involved in this craft beer world that me and Jerad has been involved in for a while, and I'm actually succumbed. I am majorly involved in this world now. Edit that last part out. Succumbed. It's like a cocoon.
Great white buffalo.
Great white buffalo. I can tell we're feeling pretty good right now. I mean,
and we haven't had that much.
No, I know. Well,
I think it's the exuberance of the factor.
Yeah, I think I'm really excited for the wedding and a little stressed, but I'm good with it. And I get to hang out with my buddies like we used to every weekend.
Yeah,
I mean we used to.
We hadn't had that in 2 years.
No, we hadn't had it in a long time, and we used to hang out. It was every Friday night.
Pretty much.
Started Friday night into Saturday, and then Sunday we'd be winding down.
Yeah. Well, I mean, because I would come over here where I'm at now at Jared's house, and we'd hang out Friday night, Saturday night, and then
be winding down Sunday.
Be winding down on Sunday.
And consume a lot of pizza while doing so.
Yeah, and we should have bought stock in Little Caesars.
Yeah.
We should have. We'd be rich right now.
At least made back some of what we spent into it.
Yeah, exactly. Again, not the best pizza in the world, but it's $5.
Can't beat it.
Yeah, you can't beat it.
And it's locally close.
And again, what do we have in the net?
Yeah, again, we brought back the old staples. We're drinking beer and eating pizza.
Right before the broadcast, your last words were, bring the pizza box.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Right before we walked out here to record, it was, hey, bring the pizza.
Oh, yeah.
Because we would go every Friday night and get 5 pizzas.
That's what you're going to have to name this episode is, hey, bring the pizza.
Yeah. Brews with Brian. Bonus episode 4, I think. Bring the pizzas. And nobody will know what he's talking about.
It's an inside joke. Tickets cost you $5 at the door.
That's right. But man, it's wonderful.
Yeah, it is. I'm not complaining about neither one of them. I like them both.
I want to go back to that gumball. That was just...
Yeah, I'm almost tempted when we get done with this, we go back to gumball.
Yeah. We'll do a whole nother bit about it.
Yeah, maybe if we take a break, we'll come back.
Brought to you by these messages.
Yeah.
$1, Bob.
But I'm in favor of going up there and going to Three Floyds.
Yeah, I'm not exactly sure how far it would be from like where I live up there,
right.
But you're talking maybe like 180 miles.
Right. Well, I mean,
it'd be about like a trip to Birmingham from here.
Yeah, I mean, like if we could just, me and Jerad, if we could just spend a weekend up there.
Yeah.
I think it'd be worth it. I want to go. I'm sure Jerad does.
Yeah, I can go anywhere.
Never been to Chicago, so I mean, that'd be someplace new for us.
Yeah, again, there's tons of breweries in Chicago. You were talking about Nashville.
And more pizza.
Yeah, and more pizza.
Chicago deep style, deep dish style pizza.
Better pizza.
Right. Or authentic.
Yeah. But like Nashville's got some great breweries. Bearded Iris makes some fantastic stuff, and they do mostly IPAs. And when I was up there for work one time, I was actually in a town east of Nashville, but they had some Bearded Iris, and it's the first time I've ever seen it. I've heard about it forever, but I had I can't remember what the name of it was, but of course it was like a double IPA, and it was one of my favorites. And I can't get it down here.
Yeah, it's just, I mean, one of the things that you just, I guess, have to adapt to in the craft beer world is there's going to be some things that you just can't get your hands on.
Yeah,
I mean,
because there's
as much as it breaks your heart to.
Oh, it does, because one of the best beers in the world, constantly ranked number one in every major craft beer poll, which do exist, is Pliny the Elder from Russian River Brewing, which is in California, and you can't get that stuff in Alabama.
Yeah, I mean it's got to travel at least like 2,500 miles to get here. So,
Right,
I mean,
exactly. I mean,
nobody's going to really pay that kind of extra cost to get it.
Right.
So. But maybe as we can get craft beer more popular,
exactly. I mean,
we can kind of get it.
All they would have to do is just get a distributor,
right?
Like.
Maybe we can get Amazon on board.
Yeah,
I mean,
Again, it's got to be be able to be legally shipped in Alabama, which again you can't do through the United States Postal Service. But like,
nothing says that Amazon can't get me a drone with a beer on.
Well, that's
it.
true.
I mean,
That's true. I mean, they'll fly it to your house.
It
would be worth the $2,000 in shipping fees
right.
that it would cost.
We'll just work a little bit extra overtime for that,
right? For my 6-pack of beer or whatever,
Honey, what's this thing floating around in the yard? It's a drone. That's my beer.
Why is there a $500 charge on my credit card?
Right, exactly.
Don't worry about it.
How much beer did you buy? A 6-pack.
Right. I got it really good. It's only like $300 a beer.
We gotta basically sip.
Yeah.
But it's gotta last you till Christmas.
But I had considered like using like a vacation week and flying out to California just to try that beer.
No, that's commitment.
And that's how much I love craft beer. Of course,
right.
I can't convince my fiance to go there.
I mean, that's not a logical argument.
No, I mean, again, I understand it. I should have let in with something different, like, hey, let's go to California, instead of, hey, let's go to California so I can drink this one beer.
Yeah.
It's
all on the proposal.
But, like, I wanted to go to Asheville, North Carolina, because they have a New Belgium brewery there and a Sierra Nevada brewery there. And I wanted to tour the breweries.
Yeah.
And Asheville is driving distance. We'd have to spend the night, spend the weekend there or whatever, but I could get there. It'd be like driving to the beach from where we live in Alabama.
Right.
And I just thought that would be amazing.
Yeah.
I've never been to North Carolina.
I mean, even on my way back, I've thought about just trying to either go to maybe like Jack Daniels or go to like the Moonshine facility, the tour, and see what they've got.
Right, exactly.
So, I mean, you just got to get out there and make a commitment to do things like that.
Like I said, on your way back, if I was you, I'd be stopping somewhere in the Nashville area at some kind of liquor store, craft beer shop, whatever, and seeing what they got.
Yeah.
Like if you see any Bearded Iris, it's fantastic. New Heights Brewery is fantastic. They've got a few up there. Jackalope, I think, is one of them in Nashville. I had one of their pale ales, and it wasn't that good. But not to shit on them, but
flavor's flavor.
Yeah, I mean, it just wasn't good. Maybe I had a bad batch. I don't know. I mean, I tried something else. I mean, I tried one beer up there called Screaming Cock.
Yeah, I think I've seen that can.
Yeah, it was on the podcast.
It's on your Instagram.
Yeah, it's on the Instagram. It's on the podcast. Again, not the best pale ale I've ever had.
But I mean,
I bought it because of the can.
There you go.
I don't even think they make it anymore.
Let's hope they don't.
For good reason.
What did you drink last night? Screaming Cock.
Yeah.
It's kind of like the Andy Gator. I mean, not a whole lot of people are going to choose that just because of the label.
Right.
But I mean,
Andy Gator's coming up in the podcast. Yeah. I'm actually going to review it. So I've actually got some stuff lined up for the next couple of weeks on the regular podcast because, like I said, I'm getting married tomorrow and going on my honeymoon the second week in December. So I got to have some stuff lined up, and there'll actually be a best of episode coming up while I'm actually on my honeymoon. So,
so are you actually going to do any kind of like reviews of anything while you're on your honeymoon from Mexico? Probably
not from Mexico. I might, if I try something, I'm sure somewhere they're going to have some craft beer.
Right.
I'll try something, and I'll do what I usually do, just maybe take a few notes on my phone and stuff, and go from there. It just depends on what they have.
Right.
This broadcast is brought to you by Brian on a Boat.
Yeah.
Brian on a boat.
Brian on a boat.
SPF 30.
Yeah, which Brian can't wait for. He's never been out of the U.S., so he's happy.
Just make sure you come back.
Oh yeah. Well, see, I checked, and the Gulf of Mexico has no icebergs, so I'm not worried about the ship sinking. We're going down. Plus, these boats are twice the size the Titanic was.
Basically, their own little country.
Right. There's probably going to be 2,000 people on this boat.
Yeah.
And like I said, never been on a cruise before, but I'm hoping Mexico is warm in December.
I hear it is.
I'm sure it is. Google says it's somewhere in the 70s, so I'm pretty happy with that. So,
well, I wish you luck on it. I mean, that's going to be a fantastic trip, no matter what you do.
Oh, there'll be a ton of pictures. Yeah.
So.
Like, one thing I can't wait for, and this is just totally not about beer, but as I share my personal life, but I can't wait to just be on the deck of the boat at night just to see the moon and the stars.
Yeah, because you're going to have amazing clarity.
Right, because there's no light pollution.
Right.
Except for what's on the boat. And that won't be enough to damage any kind of view.
Right.
And it's just going to be amazing. Plus, they have the Guy Fieri restaurant, so I get to go to Flavortown.
No.
Don't let him lie. He's gonna do the same from Titanic.
Given the opportunity, who wouldn't?
Yeah, I think you have to try.
Isn't that on the itinerary for the ship? That's like right up.
What are they going to do? Throw you off the boat?
They have to go fetch you.
Yeah, they'll put you in the cruise jail, I guess. I don't know what that's like, but imagine it's not like prison.
Yeah, it's
a bunch of guys in Hawaiian shirts that are drunk.
For all the Celine Dion fans out there,
yeah,
we apologize to our Canadian viewers.
Yeah. The sound of the dying cat was Jerad.
Gotta love me. Oh wait. How? Well, no. I think you're about. Me and you's on the same page. You're getting behind over there.
Yeah, I am. Well, I'm trying to talk because I'm doing a podcast, so I can't be down in my beers like everybody else is.
I'm not down it. We're enjoying.
It's not one that you can really bring yourself to like chug either.
No, this is not a funnel beer.
No, it's definitely not. It will end up.
Is that a dare?
I don't know.
Well, again, if you heard the last bonus episode, Jerad does chug beer.
Don't hold it against me. That was a good. That was the what? The nitro?
Yeah, it was the White Russian Nitro in the last bonus episode. And the prank calls to Satan right there at the end.
Yeah, I'm still going to have to try a can of that.
Well, we got them. You can try it. But White Russian Nitro with Left Hand Brewing Company, fantastic beer. Prank calls to Satan, a black ale was fantastic. Wiseacre Brewery, Memphis, Tennessee.
Again, the names they come out with these craft beers.
Yeah, I mean, you have to be original.
Oh, yeah.
Like Bud Light, it's just the company's name and light because it's not high in alcohol, which nothing they produce is high in alcohol. They advertise Bud Platinum or Bud Light Platinum as being higher in alcohol content.
It's like, what, 1% higher?
It's 6. Yeah, it's a 6% beer.
It's not even higher than the original then.
The original is about 5.5. So virtually nothing. A
lot of hype and a whole lot of extra money.
Exactly. There's more corn syrup in that one. Which again, they would tell you, Budweiser would tell you they don't put corn syrup in their beer. The rest of them do. But yeah, I mean, what we're drinking now is in the 5s, but it's got more flavor.
Yeah.
This thing, like all these big box corporate beers taste the same to me. Like everybody's always like, well, I'm a Miller guy, or I'm a Coors guy, or I'm a Budweiser guy. They all taste the exact same to me. And maybe that's because I've tried so many other different kinds of beer to change my mind. So.
Yeah. Possibly.
I mean, I tried Michelob's organic beer that they had here just a while back.
Yeah.
And it's almost identical to just drinking like sparkling water.
Right.
I mean, it's not really even considered, in my opinion, like a beer.
Right.
They've deviated so far from it.
Right. And we've discussed this before. Like, if you brought craft beer to a party, like in college, they would look at you like you're stupid. Like, why are you bringing a 6-pack? You should have brought that old Dirty 30, you know, Natural Light. And Jerad opens another can. I guess Anthony's going to try this prank call with Satan.
This would be your first, like, dark, ain't it?
Yeah. For this,
it's the first dark ale he's had, because this thing isn't a stout. This prank calls to Satan, if you were listening to the last bonus episode, is a black IPA.
Oh.
It's got a whole different note to it.
Right, so it's going to look
a whole lot darker.
So it's going to look almost like a stout, but it's actually an IPA.
We'll try it right there, and I'll pour you some more.
That'll work. I mean, it does kind of looks like it's got the head of a Guinness, but just not as thick and bold.
Right.
So
I think we had a stalker watching us. Again, don't try to prank call
really
Satan.
Like a dark hoppy.
Yeah, it's a dark hoppy beer.
I mean, it's just if Guinness was made of hops, this is what Guinness would be.
Right. Well, Guinness has hops in it. All beer does.
Right.
But it's just not a lot.
Yeah, I mean,
or not something as in your face.
Yeah.
Because, different hops bring off different flavors. As Jerad takes a swig of prank calls to Satan.
Now this, to me, if you ever try Monkey Knot, the Monkey Knot is a whole lot stronger than this.
Yeah, it's a whole lot more hoppier.
Yeah.
Of course, again, Monkey Knot from Straight to Ale out of Huntsville.
It actually
Alabama.
got a little bit different taste since the last time we tried it.
Really? Let me have a swig. Yeah, sure does.
It's actually...
It might have been because we had drank so much before we had tried that.
Everything was starting to taste the same.
Everything was a little bit the same. That was actually on the regular podcast this past week, I do believe. Or the week before.
Even the graffiti on this can is just kind of...
Yeah, again, they have... All this craft beer stuff has great art. Because if it doesn't, it probably doesn't sell.
Right. They got to do something to catch the
buyer's
eye.
Yeah, exactly.
That's just like that first beer we tried. On the side of it says, "It's not normal."
Right.
And I mean the can cover, well, the bottle cover on both of them is just wonderful. And then the prank calls to Satan, is just out there too.
Right. Well, even Monkey Knot has a monkey, astronaut. Because again, it's from Huntsville, Alabama. Miss Baker was one of I think the first monkey to go into space.
Oh yeah.
And she's actually buried at the Space and Rocket Center.
Yeah.
And that's what inspired that beer. And then they have Gorilla Knot, which is a double IPA. Almost a gorilla in an astronaut costume.
She's some aloe.
Yeah, that's what caught my eye. It was
Right.
Free hug.
Right. Again, we talked about this last time. Prank calls to Satan. It says get some aloe on the can or whatever. Again, you'd probably need aloe in hell.
You probably would.
So
just don't try to prank call Satan.
Right.
You probably don't like it.
All right, I'm going to go ahead and wrap up this bonus episode of Brews with Brian, Just a Sip with Anthony and Jerad. I want to thank everybody for listening. You can check the show out on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, YouTube, and Spotify. Special shout out to Southern Package for supplying me with my craft beer on every podcast I've ever done, except for today. Anthony brought this stuff in from up north. Again, thank you, Anthony, for being on, and
you're welcome.
Thank you again for being the groomsman in my wedding, and wish you was here all the time. We do podcast every day, probably. Thank you, Jerad. We've been doing this a few times together. You're pretty much my co-host on these bonus episodes. So again,
thank you very much.
Thank you. And that's going to do it for this bonus episode of Brews with Brian, Just a Sip, and we'll see you next time.